Hi, I'm Mr. Jack, and we're going on a journey. At 5:30 a.m. a few weeks ago, I was on my way to pick up a client and my phone rang. I recognized the name on the phone and I answered, said, "Hey, Tony, good morning." And he said, "Hey, Jack, I didn't sleep well last night and I need a ride to work." Well, his office is about an hour and 10 minutes from his house. And he continued, "I'll need a ride home later this afternoon. I know it's last minute." I said, "Well, I'll see what I can do. If I can get another driver to take my rides today, I'll do it. Just give me some time to make a few phone calls." And so I made a couple of phone calls. I received a text from one of the drivers that I called. He said he could take my runs. So I contacted Tony and told him that, I could pick him up from his house and take him to work. I've been driving Tony and his wife for about 4 years. He's not very talkative. Not at all. He's very quiet. He's busy. His position, his job is very demanding, so when he's in the car, I give him some much needed downtime. So after I picked him up, we drove in silence for an hour and about 10 minutes. When he exited, I told him that I'd be back later that afternoon at the designated time. Then I had time for a little nap, and then I had to drive back and get Tony. And I thought, I've never stopped at the Corvette Museum. I'm going to do that. So I drove to the Corvette Museum, which is there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I didn't have time for the tour, but I was able to see some of the cars.
Well, behind me is the National Corvette Museum. I don't know that I have time to go in. I have to go pick up a client. But whenever you're in Nashville and take a day trip, spend some time and come up here to the National Corvette Museum. Let's go see what I can see in the few minutes that I have over here. Did anybody see the open sign? Yep. Corvette Cafe. It says it's open, but it's not open. Again, coming to Nashville, you want to get out of town for a while? Let's go to the National Corvette Museum. Be a great day of fun.
About 4 o'clock, I went back to Tony's office to pick him up. And as usual, he got in the car and he's very quiet. He sat in the back seat. He watched a baseball game on his phone. About half an hour into the ride, I heard him say, "Hey, I'm talking to you." Well, I wasn't aware of it. I hadn't heard him because I was listening to a podcast through my earphones. I was startled because we never talk. So I pulled out the earphones and turned off the podcast. He wanted to know what I wanted to do when I retired. He wanted to know what I would do if I had unlimited free time. And I said, well, if I had unlimited free time and the money to do it, I would arrange musical projects, maybe write a book, work on my videos. And since he had asked me that kind of personal question, I thought maybe he wanted me to ask him the same thing. Well, so I did. I said, Tony, what would you do if you could control all of your time? He said, well, if I had unlimited free time and could control it, I think I'd go for long walks. I think I would reconnect with the people that I love. I said, well, who are these people that you'd like to connect with? And he said, well, I think my brothers, because they think, well, everybody thinks I'm hard to please, and it can strain relationships. And I laughed. I got a chuckle out of that, and he realized that I'm aware that he's hard to please. So I guess after that conversation, it weighed on my mind for several days because I knew this was a man who was afraid to express that he needed downtime. He has to stay on all the time. And so I kept him in my prayers for days. I couldn't get him out of my mind. I couldn't get him off of my heart. So I guess this video is in honor of him and everybody else who wishes they could just stop and take a long walk in the country.